Hello, my name is Alejandra Lisette Palacio Rodriguez. This is my assignment 7, a class video. All right, first of all, the grammar topic that I chose is models of ability. The context is students of the Bachelor in English Language Teaching in the semesters 4th or 5th. They are usually older than 19 years old, and their level of English is B1 approximately. Some of them can be a little lower or a little higher even. The unit of work is planning a trip abroad, and it will take place during, the unit of work will take place during 2 weeks approximately. That can be like 10 hours of class. Now, following the 6-step framework, the first one is to determine the theme, which in this case is a trip abroad. The second one is the final task. These students will create a presentation, will present it in front of the class, and it will be some kind of proposal for a trip. The third step is to determine unit objectives. The first is to practice using models of ability and to a certain degree of possibility, to share personal opinions, to learn about how to plan a trip, to work as a team and reach agreements, to know about other cultures and to research also about places that they haven't visited yet, and to anticipate possible unexpected situations or even problems that they may face and how to deal with them. Now, the fifth is to plan a process. First, the warm-up. These students are usually interested in other cultures and traveling, and since they are in this 4th and 5th semester, they haven't been eligible to apply for a scholarship or an exchange. So, well, maybe they have already experienced a summer job abroad or something like that, but the majority of them probably haven't. So in this part, they can talk about what places they would like to know, new cultures they're interested in, things that they would like to do, but they will be talking mostly about their interest and not their experience. Then the group work. The students will get in teams of 4, and they will select a non-Spanish speaking country to visit. This country can be a English speaking one or another one in which English is a medium of communication. The fourth is to specify the content. Well, the linguistic content in this case is the use of models of ability and possibility, and the negotiation of meaning and the content in order to reach an agreement. Now, they will be given a handout in which there is a checklist with all the aspects that the planning must cover. All these aspects to cover must be discussed, and students will have to share their knowledge, the results of their research, their investigation. They can be given links to access blogs of travelers or vlogs in YouTube, and they will also share their opinions, and this obviously also convey part of their personalities. So the first point to cover is budget. So students have to discuss how much they can or could spend in this trip. The second is places to visit. So they can not only propose where, but also explain why, to give information, to give their opinions. Yeah, and the activities. They can talk about the things that they can or they cannot do. So in this part, they are literally practicing this grammar topic. Then the itinerary. In this part, they are required to organize and to discuss all the content. The accommodation, it doesn't only refers to where they want to go and where they want to stay. Like they can stay in a room in a hotel or share one in a hostel or an Airbnb, etc. But also they can talk about how to book a room. What set phrases can be used in order to get a place to stay. Then the transportation. Well, they can discuss how they can go somewhere. Well, maybe they can go by plane, by train, take a taxi, on foot, etc. The packing. They have to discuss what to pack, mostly in terms of documents, like they can enter a country with or without a visa, or they need passports. Also in terms of clothing. And in this specific case, they will have to consider some cultural aspects, like the culture of that place or the customs. If, for example, they want to visit the Vatican museums, in that case, they must consider that they cannot wear mini skirts or shorts or sleeveless blouses because they have a dress code. Or in other countries, women must be covered, like their heads must be covered. So they have to consider these kind of things in their packing. And the unexpected situations and how to deal with them, they can consider, for example, if they lose their passport, well, what can they do about it? They can visit the police station to report it, go to the embassy, to talk on the phone to whoever they have to, how to ask for direction, sorry, in case they get lost or in case they cannot find a place. So they can also use set phrases like, how can I get to the Eiffel Tower, for example? So these aspects can be covered in this part. And finally, the presentation. They have to organize all of their information, the decisions that they have made in a creative way to capture it with whatever tool that they prefer, Prezi, PowerPoint, Google Slides, etc. And then all of this information will be showed to their classmates. And the instruments that can be used for the evaluation of the process and the product. Well, in the case of the process, it can be note taken. So it will be necessary to have a lot of monitoring to be taking notes of how students interact, how they use the language, what they are doing in order to get all this information, how they give their opinion, and the interaction itself. And it would be necessary also to ask students to have a proof of their classwork, like to show what they have done. And to evaluate the product, a rubric can be used. And the aspects to be evaluated can be the creativity of the presentation, the aspects that were actually covered in this, and the use of language and grammar that was used by the students. And well, this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.